Subscribe to MTL World at Middle World 1 YouTube channel. Swallowed Star 2, Origin Continent. Volume 9, Advancing Through the Darkness. Chapter 347, Invincible Realm. 9th of Volume 9. Translator, Shadow Knight AK. Editor, Shadow Knight AK. Is he an invincible realm existence? Even with all 15 of us at peak level working together, we couldn't resist at all. He must be an invincible realm existence. But aren't invincible realm beings supposed to be guided by Senior Yuan and others? As they were swept along by the collapsing space-time toward Luo Feng, the 15 God Emperors, including the God Emperor Mixu, struggled to accept what was happening at this moment. They had actually offended an invincible realm existence. In the Dark Holy Realm, reaching the peak level is already considered the pinnacle of power. After all, whenever an invincible realm existence arises, they are taken away. Invincibility represents overwhelming power. It means one is likely to break free from the shackles. Once a practitioner is believed to be capable of becoming an invincible realm existence, peak-level powerhouses will line up to follow them. In hopes that once that person breaks free from the cage, they might grant them an opportunity. We encountered an invincible realm being. But instead of befriending or following him, we joined forces to attack him. How could this happen? The Battle of Yulan City occurred not long ago. Back then he was just at the peak level. It's only been a few eras, how has he already become invincible realm existence? And we tried to ambush him. God Emperor Mixu and the other 15 God Emperors were in utter despair. Rumbled Tilda. As they were pulled in by the collapsing space-time and brought close to Luo Feng, an invisible force enveloped them, finally allowing them to stabilize their bodies, now all standing before Luo Feng. Greetings to God Emperor Luo Feng. Despite the panic and despair in their hearts, the 15 God Emperors remained outwardly respectful, not daring to show even a hint of disrespect. You came to ambush me. Luo Feng looked at them with interest. The space-time within billions of kilometers around them continued to collapse and twist, leaving the 15 God Emperors with no hope of escape. We are foolish. We have been deceived. We are greedy for resources, we gave in to temptation. Please, God Emperor Luo Feng, spare us. The God Emperors pleaded, each with a very lowly posture. Boxiu. Baiyin. Qizheng. What do you think? Luo Feng glanced at Boxiu, Baiyin, and Qizheng, who were able to maintain their stance under Luo Feng's protection in the collapsing space-time. The three looked around, shocked by the scale. Just one strike. Is this really how powerful he's become? Brother Luo Feng is already an invincible realm existence, and we've only been following him for a short while, not enough time to build any deep bonds. Brother Luo Feng. God Emperor Boxiu was the first to compose himself and speak. Among practitioners, ambushing someone is an unforgivable grudge. Since they came to ambush you, whatever punishment you deem fit, even if it's destroying all their clones and making them unable to stand in the Dark Holy Realm, is completely justified. Exactly. With Brother Luo Feng's invincible realm strength, just spread the word across 5 cities, and the Dark Holy Realm will never again have space for them to exist. These two statements made God Emperor Mixu and the other 15 tremble. Most of them had come from the origin world. Losing a few clones didn't matter much, but if Luo Feng truly drove them out of the Dark Holy Realm, the impact would be enormous. All the wealth and military merits they had accumulated were for exchanging resources in large Xuanhuan Hall. Without access to the Dark Holy Realm, their cultivation resources would shrink by 99%. We admit our grave mistake. God Emperor Mixu took the initiative to kneel. Please, God Emperor Luo Feng, grant us a sliver of mercy. Don't cut off our path of cultivation. He knelt. A peak existence, yet he knelt. The other 14 hesitated for a moment, but then one by one followed, and as the number of those kneeling increased, even the hesitant ones eventually knelt. We know our mistakes. Please, God Emperor Luo Feng, grant us a sliver of mercy. One after another, they all knelt and pleaded. Clearly, they could have remained in the origin world, enjoying luxury and peace, yet for the sake of cultivation, they chose to kneel and beg. Luo Feng gazed at them. Boxiu, Baiyin and Qizheng stood beside him, saying nothing at this point. Only Luo Feng could decide the fate of these 15 God Emperors. Since you came to plunder me, you must pay the price. Luo Feng had no pity for those who tried to rob him. But since most of these 15 God Emperors were from the origin world, he couldn't kill them outright either. Each of you must compensate 500 billion Xuanhuan crystals. The total from 15 of you will be 7.5 trillion Xuanhuan crystals. That sum equaled the value of the batch of low-level Xuanhuan life corpses Luo Feng had sold earlier. He looked at them. Pay 7.5 trillion Xuanhuan crystals, and I'll let you go. Otherwise, I promise that none of you will ever stand again in the Dark Holy Realm. With this ambush and Luo Feng's demand for such an enormous sum in reparations, deep cause and effect ties had instantly formed between them. Luo Feng could now lock onto each of their clones at any time using his bionic eye of destruction. 7.5 trillion Hunyuan crystals. The 15 god emperors present were dumbfounded. Each of us pays 500 billion, or is it that we must collectively gather 7.5 trillion? God Emperor Mixu asked first. Together. Luo Feng said. If one is short, the rest will share the burden. One missing. And the rest will suffer the consequences. The hearts of the 15 trembled. Their strengths varied. The leading god Emperor Mixu, ranked among the top 20 formation experts in the Dark Holy Realm, could easily take out 500 billion Hunyuan crystals. But others, who were weaker, had already used up much of their resources or exchanged them for military merits. They simply couldn't come up with that much. I know gathering 7.5 trillion Hunyuan crystals won't be easy for you. Luo Feng said, I'll give you 1,000 epic to collect the amount. If it's not in my hands after that, I'll send my clones to wipe out all your clones across the entire Dark Holy Realm. God Emperor Mixu and the others grew increasingly uneasy. To be specifically targeted by an invincible realm existence. Luo Feng breaking free from the cage means he's now a target of high-level Hunyuan beings, maybe even world-class Hunyuan beings. We will gather the compensation within 1,000 epochs. The God Emperor Mixu said respectfully. The other God Emperors had no choice either. We will definitely gather the compensation. They all chimed in. Making such a promise in front of Luo Feng, they were filled with deep regret. Not only had they failed to plunder anything, but now they owed 7.5 trillion Hunyuan crystals. At that moment, a black warship finally arrived. Inside it, the 8 heavenly wolf companions looked from afar at the collapsing space-time ahead. We've arrived. I can confirm that Wuxia and the other 2 are still there. Their clones are alive, so they should still be holding on, one of them said as the ship flew at full speed. But upon getting closer and seeing the scene across billions of kilometers, they were stunned and instinctively slowed down. What's going on? Why is the fabric of space collapsing? They were terrified by the vortex of collapsing space-time, for everyone knew how stable the Dark Holy Realm is. Only some pinnacle beings could even manage short-distance teleportation. So to cause such a massive collapse it had to be the invincible realm power. Suddenly, a voice echoed, 8 heavenly wolf companions. A voice rang in their ears. The collapsing zone of space-time suddenly expanded and engulfed their black ship, sweeping it helplessly into the center of the spatial collapse. We can't stabilize the ship. The spatial collapse here is terrifying. They were panicking. Then they finally saw the man at the heart of this power dressed in black, with black hair, standing calmly. He was the absolute core of this collapsed domain, exuding terrifying pressure. The entire space-time collapse radiated from him, becoming more intense the closer one got. Nearby, Wuxia, Baiyan, and Qizheng stood respectfully to the side. The 15 god emperors, including the god emperor Mixu, were all kneeling before this black-clad man. The 8 heavenly wolf companions were shocked. For beings of their level, even losing a few clones wouldn't make them kneel, yet here were 15 kneeling. To cause space-time to collapse on such a massive scale, and all because of Luo Feng. This strength is far beyond the pinnacle realm. He's an invincible realm existence, one of them concluded immediately. The 15 god emperors have arrived. Luo Feng said, looking at them. Now the 8 heavenly wolf companions are here too. Are you also here to rob me? The 8 heavenly wolf companions were dazed. The 8 heavenly wolf companions are known for their violent temperaments, they must be here to rob Luo Feng too. One kneeling god emperor said. They left Changfeng City around the same time as us. We just got here faster, another added. Luo Feng nodded. So, you're here to rob me too? No, we're not. The 8 heavenly wolf companions quickly replied. We just came to watch the commotion, to see what caused such a massive collapse. The god emperor Mixu's ship was faster than ours. We couldn't catch up, let alone plan to rob anyone. In fact, we were thinking of helping you, Luo Feng God Emperor. Battling the others would sharpen us and aid our cultivation. We've followed Heavenly Wolf Guest before, we don't lack resources, and we have no interest in plundering also. Even though the 8 Heavenly Wolf companions had been corrupted somewhat and were known for being fierce and reckless, seeing this scene made them extremely cautious. Not even one dared to act arrogant. Luo Feng nodded slightly. There's some truth in that. These 8 are greedy and violent by nature, Wuxia added. But their ship was much slower. They arrived too late to participate in the robbery. Given their personalities, though, it's likely they would have joined the others. You're absolutely right, Wuxia. We really were planning to help God Emperor Luo Feng deal with the others. One of the 8 heavenly wolf companions said nervously. At that moment, in the largest Hunyuan city, the first city established in the dark holy world, a towering, ancient hall stood. A silver-haired, silver-browed man looked into the distance, sensing Luo Feng's location. Using a treasured item to enhance his massive physical power to such an extent that it causes such large-scale spatial collapse. Remarkable. His strength is already beyond the peak level. He's definitely an invincible realm existence. His body is even larger than the ultra-limit level Xuanhuan Wangti beast. A woman in fiery red robes also watched from afar. His body has reached this level even without breaking free from the cage. That's rare indeed. If we're sure he's an invincible realm existence, then we must report this to the Lord, the silver-haired man said. I agree. Let's inform the Lord immediately, the red-robed woman also nodded. Blank, underscore 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 underscore. End of chapter. Subscribe to MTL World at Mittelworld 1 YouTube channel.